I'm Nicholas Balassi here at the Washington Hilton for the White House Correspondents' Dinner, which is taking place for the second year in a row without President Trump. Let me ask you about the president not coming second year in a row. Did he miss an opportunity in your mind?
No, not at all. I think the president made the right decision. This isn't a forum that was enjoyable at all for him. And I think, look, people want to get together and network. That's fine. But having the president come here and just get ridiculed, it's not a venue that I've ever think is fair to Republicans.
Let me ask you about North Korea, what's going on right now. The two countries are coming together. Yep. What do you think in terms of the president's role in that?
I think there's no question. I think there's been bipartisan praise for the president's role in making the progress that we've seen in North Korea so far. But I mean, going back to President Reagan, we've got to trust but verify. I think all the steps that we're seeing are in the right direction, but there's a lot more that needs to be done.
Yeah, and what would you like to see him change course on since the time that you've left the White House in the current political climate?
Look, I think whether it's North Korea or some of the other foreign policy victories that the president's had, or some of the domestic policies that we've seen have a positive impact on the American people, I think he's doing the right things. He's going to continue to move the country forward.
And on tax reform, the growth, the last term was it was 2.3.
2.3.
Do you think that misses the target?
No, I think you see it revised upward. We've seen several quarters of above 3%, but it's moving in the right direction. I think we'll see more.
What's in the president's mind right now after the news in North Korea? How's he preparing for the meeting, the face-to-face meeting with Kim Jong-un?
Well, the president is spectacularly pleased with the type of progress and the rate of progress that has happened in such short order. I mean, to think that many different presidents have tried and have promised to bring peace to that area, or even just Korean conversation, and it's this president who set that climate successfully, getting North Korea and South Korea to literally talk, and today to talk about putting an end to war after decades and decades of that. Also, this president has told everyone that a denuclearized Korean peninsula is in everybody's best interest. He's also credited the American people for sticking with that and for electing someone who can get that done. He's also, as recently as yesterday, been crediting Mr. Xi in China, that he has made the progress go faster also. And he had a bilateral with President Abe, Mr. Abe in Mar-a-Lago last week. So he continues to speak to world leaders and to come together to make sure that North Korea, Iran for that matter, is not nuclear capable. That benefits all of us.
And the latest economic growth figures are in, a little bit over 2%. Are you disappointed in that? Were you in the White House hoping for better growth after the tax reform?
No, we are not disappointed in the jobs numbers, in the growth numbers. The stock market's up over 30% since he was elected. You see the 5 million Americans who have received bonuses or raises or both because of Donald Trump and the Republican Congress's tax cuts, the presidential leadership, the regulatory reform. We hear from small businesses constantly. We have Small Business Week coming up now. I hope everyone will pitch in to hear those stories and to give the added oomph that folks need to start their small business or to grow their small business. And what this president's been able to do nationally, in this country, domestically and internationally, in 16 short months is truly remarkable. Now, when you talk about the tax cut, the corporations going from 35% to 21% has led to all these bonuses and raises, but we haven't scratched the surface really yet of what it's going to mean in capital and community investment, in benefits to their employees, and all that repatriated wealth, trillions of dollars of repatriated wealth. Truly remarkable.
And the Democrats seem ready. I mean, they're talking about it on Capitol Hill, ready to take over the House after the midterms. What do you think? How are you advising the president, the White House, on adjusting strategy as we head into the midterms?
As far as I can tell, their only message is we're going to win and take over the House. They don't have a cohesive message as far as I can see. Many of them, I've read in the paper, have had to go home and explain to their constituents why they voted against historic tax cuts that has led to so much growth and prosperity, and the 5 million or so bonuses and raises for those Americans, the over 500 companies who have stood up and done that for their employees. So they have to explain why they're voting against measures like that. At the same time, our eyes are wide open. The party in power suffers grievous losses traditionally at the ballot box. President Bill Clinton lost 54 seats. President Barack Obama lost 63 in the House and called it a shellacking, and he was right, it was. They both went on to be successfully reelected presidents, as was George W. Bush. But this president is committed to making sure that his members are able to go and tout the economic progress, the great strides that are happening, that really wouldn't happen without him here. You wouldn't have a 21% corporate tax rate. You would not have North Korea and South Korea talking to each other. And you know how we know that? He wasn't here and you didn't have that. He's here and you do have that.
Reporting in Washington, I'm Nicholas Balassi.